John 20:12. And she saw two angels in white sitting, one at the head and one at the feet, where the body of Jesus had lain. John keeps doing this slow, careful work with your attention. Mary looked into the tomb in verse 11, and now she sees. And what she sees is strange, but not random. Two angels in white positioned at the head and the feet, right where the body of Jesus had been. John is not trying to impress you with mystical details. He's showing you that something has shifted in the meaning of the space. A tomb is supposed to be final. A tomb is supposed to be the place where hope stops. But here, in the place where death was most concrete, heaven is present. Not because Mary did something special, not because she worked herself into spiritual clarity. It's because God is doing something that grief cannot see yet. And there's a layer here that's easy to miss if you have only read this as a dramatic moment. Two angels, head and feet, in a place where a body had lain. That arrangement echoes the Old Testament pattern of the mercy seat, with cherubim positioned on either side of the place of atonement and presence. John is quietly telling you, without giving you a lecture, that the resurrection is not only a comeback story, it's the beginning of a new creation. It's the announcement that the presence of God is no longer guarded behind curtains and distance. The place where death laid Jesus is becoming, in a sense, a holy place. Not because death is holy, it's because Jesus has stepped into death and is about to step out of it with authority. Also notice how grounded the verse is. Where the body of Jesus had lain. John will not let this become a metaphor. This is not a spiritual idea floating above history. There was a body, and it was laid here. It was real, which means the victory that is coming is not an imaginary comfort. It's conquest. God is meeting us at the level of what is most irreversible and rewinding the ending. And still, Mary does not understand. Angels do not automatically equal clarity. You can be surrounded by signs of God's work and still feel like you are outside the tomb weeping. This isn't failure, this is humanity. Formation is often learning to stay present long enough for God to interpret the moment you cannot interpret. One more thing. The angels are not the point. They never are. They are witnesses, not the center. They are there to mark the space and to prepare the way, but they cannot do what only Jesus can do. They cannot call Mary by name. They can't restore what grief has collapsed. They can only sit in white and quietly testify. Something happened here. So if you are in a season where you feel stuck, pay attention to what this verse gives you. It tells you that God can be closer than you think, even before you feel better. It tells you that the place you thought was the end might be the place where heaven was already stepped in. And it tells you that Jesus is about to speak, not to perform, not to impress, to restore. Amen.